Hello, hello. Welcome. Today we are going to be doing Astro Detective, which means we are looking at charts from large events, large tragic events. We will be looking at the White House correspondent dinner shooting and the chart and see what it tells us. We're going to also look at the Bhopal disaster in India, which was one of the major industrial tragedies caused by Warren Anderson, an American businessman, and we're going to look at his chart too. We're going to look at the 1931 China floods, which is considered the #1 tragic disaster in the world, so with 4 million deaths. We're going to look at the Haihuan earthquake in 1920. We're going to look at Fukushima, and we're going to look at 3 Mile Island. So we've got a lot of charts to look at today, so we're going to get started. Just give me 1 minute. Hope everybody is doing okay and feeling good as much as you can. Hey. It's good to see you guys. Okay, let's start with the Bhopal disaster. Okay. I know I'm probably saying this wrong, so you'll get to see the spelling. Okay, here we go. Let's go. Here we go. This is the disaster here. It happened December 3rd, 1984. It was the worst industrial disaster. Okay. The government affidavit in 2006 stated that the leak caused approximately that many injuries, that many partial injuries, severely or permanent disabling injuries. And then others estimated that 8,000 died within 2 weeks of the incident here. Oh, who's King Charles? Who's that? No, like where? What do you mean? Like in the United States? What's going on? Okay. Let me know where you see it. England, the king? Where is he? Tori, tell me all the news. Ashley, you know I know who it is. All right, well, let's look at his chart. Hold on. Let's put on the disasters on hold. We're going to pull up his chart. I always have his chart. You guys didn't like my joke. Who's that? I've been making so many jokes lately, like Micah's gonna have a heart attack. I don't know why. I'm crushing it with jokes. At least I think so. They just had a big deal. I know you know, but I don't like calling him that. I know you don't like calling him that. That's why I said, who's that? And you're like, okay, let's look at what's going on in their chart then. Why you guys gotta make me look at his chart? You know I'm trying to get in over there. And I'm just not normally good reads with these people. It's like I'm still trying to get a visa here, so I'm gonna try to be nice about it. They put out Australian flags for the visit. Stop it. No. As if we didn't look stupid enough. All right, let's see what he's up to. All right, this is today. Is he fixing something? Telling what he wants? Telling what to do? Is he's probably always been in control and we didn't even know it. Maybe. Yeah. Ew. Sorry. He's got South Node on Saturn here. This is iffy. I can't tell what he wants, what his main goal is. What is his goal? What do you guys think? Reading King Charles's energy, what would be his goal here? He's got a 0-point moon in Taurus. So let's look at his luminaries. He's got a sun in Scorpio, a Mercury in Scorpio. So we can't see what he's thinking. We can't see how he shines like in his private life, I would say, since the sun is in the 4th house and we can't see what the fuck is going on, right? He can't stand him. The Brits are big on social propriety. And he is the exact opposite of that. So I would assume that they don't. But I don't know the backdoor deals, Bilderberg group. Who's in that group? Is he in that group? Do they have a secret something? Is that separate from him or is he a part of it? There's just so much I want to know. I think there's more we need to research here and get information on. Okay, Venus in Libra and Mars in Sagittarius. That's why he probably, his mother, he was probably trying to give her ideas of things to do and she was like, no. Shut up. That's a bad idea. That's my Queen Elizabeth voice, apparently. Okay. The Crown may be working with or have doings with, but Charles has zero clue. I'm in a good mood today. All right. He's got Saturn, though, in that 1st and 2nd house. Part of me thinks he hates being king. He hates it. And it probably started a while back because it's the expectations are too high and too many people are watching him. And Scorpios don't like to be watched. And he's got a lot of Scorpio energy. His descending node, Chiron, Sun, and Mercury, all in Scorpio. The Crown, the person, 2 separate entities. Oh, the Crown and the person. Okay. I wonder, who's in control of the Crown then? And then it's is it a halo? What is this crown and why? I don't know. It's hard thinking about the megalomaniac over there when we've got one over here. That one's got riding around in gold characters. We got this one, decorated in every house in gold. It's I think we have enough gold, guys. He kept putting his finger to his eye as the idiot. Oh, my eye. Yeah, I know what that means. That's French. That means I'll believe it when I see it. I know that. And I know no American expression. They call it the institution. Okay. It's almost like, Trump is playing king too much, and then it brought out the real other king. Are we about to see Battle of the Kings Or is it going to be a collaboration of the kings? Or is it... And then it's like, what makes you king? We have one who has made himself king, and we have the other one, what made his family the kings? It's their crown. Yeah, it's only their halo. Oh, he was all pumped up. All right, I gotta look at pictures or something. Let's take... All right, let's take a look at this. How iconic that our empire collapsed and the king come back. It's kind of weird, right? What is this? I hate... Okay. King Charles and Queen Camilla. Da, 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 da. What? That's weird. They came to mark the anniversary of our independence from them? Or was it a reinstatement of it? Special relationship. Uh-huh. The visit follows president. Like, why would they give him this? To keep him away? To keep him happy? That doesn't really scream leadership of the world. If I was to see this person as a king, I would not do that to somebody who is causing a lot of pain like they used to. Like they're doing the same pattern. It's almost like these two were like, that's Dada, that's Papa. Great Britain is Papa to a Papa. But Papa, you did it. Can I do it too? No, you can't do that anymore. You colonized, Papa. Okay. Yeah, it does seem like a parental type of relationship, and we're not getting a slap on the hand for colonialism in 2026. I'm just going to leave that with you. All right, let's keep looking at this. Yeah, he's probably just like, don't make me a target. I feel like they got a lot of cool expressions over there that we don't have, like silly nilly, like wingle whaps, and I don't know. That crown belongs to my ancestors, not a stinking tutor. Oh, they suck, don't they? But wanker. Yes. And they say the cunt a lot. And that was a big no-no word in my life and my world. And then, you go over there and it's just like, cunt this, cunt that, bloody hell, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, oh, like, where did I walk into? I don't know what it's going to be like for me over there. If I still am allowed over after this live. Let's look at some more pictures here of his. There was just a shooting and they're here. Like, are they for real? This feels like a North Korea thing. Did they take him to a fake store too? Yeah, everything's great here. There wasn't a shooting. Maybe. They threw a huge party for Trump not that long ago. There's no way. Actually, they do have something in common. Maybe. We'll see. Is this the peacocks parading around? I don't know. What do you think? Oh. It just feels unrelatable to me. I can't relate to this. So, on his chart, though, for today, we've got Mars is on the MC. When Mars is on the MC, that can indicate a change in job, a change in promotion, just something different with what you're doing at your middle sky. So today, he's doing something different. I guess he's traveling, if that's what it is. Or he's, Marsing warrior, the middle sky, his own middle sky. I'd be like, I mean, let's just play imagination for a second. If I was the king of a land and another man on the other side of the land was like, I'm the king. There's another king. Like, do you go and meet with the king? And like, usually these are power hungry people to want to be a king to begin with, right? Even the archetype king, they might even have the archetype king archetype too, which is interesting. Do you think King Charles has the actual king archetype? Hey. Because it almost, he's got Pluto in Leo. He's got his ascendant in Leo. Does he give king vibes? I don't know. To me, it's like a no. I think he has other archetypes. I wonder what his interests really are, Oh, yeah. Wow. Yeah. I mean, them coming here makes me feel a little safer, I guess. I don't know, because they think it's safe. There was just a dinner shooting. So I'm like, and then they show up. They didn't cancel because of it. It must have been not that big of a threat, but a big enough threat where he needs a ballroom bunker. I'm just like, nothing's adding up. Anne would have been, oh my God, Anne had the king archetype. Yes. Or queen archetype. There was definitely a royalty and a leader, a royal type leader energy to her. She would have done the job. Yeah. Anyways, his sun is at the top of at the top of his chart, transiting right now. The other luminary is down at the bottom of his chart. He's got transit Venus on the cusp of the 10th and the 11th house. Transit Jupiter is over the 12th house. And then, okay, so he's got Pluto. So this makes me think that they are closer than they're letting on. He's got Pluto. This is where the relationships are. Like when people have planets here, they get obsessive over relationships too. And we have a transit Pluto over it, and he has a first house Pluto. Where is Donald Trump's Pluto? You know, we've looked at it enough. In the 12th house. Okay. We got Mars in opposition of the Chiron key. I would say that he's lighting up his illness to him to relate their trauma bonding. They're old, so they're like talking like old men, you know, thinking about when they're going to die and stuff. Well, this is Trump's chart, AI. Get it right. This indicates, you know, to me, who's coming into his reality. So this is the person, he highly respects the person from the foreign land, okay? But also, like, there's some hidden thoughts, hidden doings, hidden lessons, a hidden vision, hidden healing, kind of hidden. Maybe we don't know how bad, you know, healing has gotten for him. But yeah, for King Charles. So I'm like talking as if this transit is King Charles coming in like a dragon, you know, and landing next to his universe. And look at how it connects. Are they warmongering to like, and he just wants nothing to do with it? He doesn't want to be known for it. I'm talking about King Charles. I don't think he wants anything to do like, but I do think he's part of it. Yeah. Holly. Okay. Let's get into these other charts though too. I don't want to get too much into this with this relationship because it seems like they are definitely closer than we know. That like raises, I said something about this a couple months ago. I think I talked about this too, my vibe with him, and but I'm gonna, because I need a visa later after I get it. All right, let's take a look at this disaster here. Now, here's the pictures, pesticide plant. And I look at these events because psychically, yes, I'm seeing possible chemical or nuclear power plants, something getting, it's being watched. Like my attention is being brought there. And I don't know if there's going to be some sort of like an accident or it's being watched right now because it might happen. But right now, let's take a look at what it looks like in a chart for an industrial accident. This is the man who caused it right here. An American businessman went over to India to start a pesticide plant. He ended up paying $479 million to the Indian government. Okay, let's look at this chart. That's the earthquake. Here we go. Without transits, here we go. We got a bender break with a Chiron key with a Pluto Scorpio. We got a moon in Aries. So it started out with sudden deaths in the vicinity because of a smog. So let's look at some death degrees here and see if any of them line up with what we know of this event. So 11 degrees Sagittarius, nope. 13 degrees Aries. Conjunct. I have to delete that one so I don't stop going to that one. 0 degree Cap and 23 degree Cap and 15. So 15, 23, 0. There we go. 15, 23, and 0. No, so just this one. Mars at 13 degrees Aquarius. Within 3 degrees. I wouldn't count it though. Jupiter at 15 degrees Cap. Oh, where'd I go? Yeah. All right, 21 degrees Scorpio. We know that's one. Conjunct. Saturn. 3 degrees and 27. 5 degrees Gemini. Let's look at 5 degrees Gemini. Oh, where am I going? No. Okay. We have a past life indicator here with how to love, Venus, and the key to healing. Healing how you love your country or how you care for your country. Getting a pesticide plant, is it really what they needed, and where was it maintenance properly? There's a lot of Cap, and Capricorn can become pretty cold when it comes to money. Hidden cuts, cutbacks on equipment or whatever is that happened. We'd have to take a look, but that's what I would say with this. Saturn's cutting corners. Okay. You see how it was like an idea from a weird man from a foreign land who wants to expand, right, and money and do something for the future of the community. Innovative for the, for their desires for the world. It's Chiron key is opposite this. Yeah. Okay, so now let's look at the man responsible for this. Here he is. I want to go back and look at his death chart so you guys can get another look at what a death chart looks like. Yes, he just died in 2014. He lived to be 92 after killing all of those people. All right, here's a death chart. Now, typical nodals on nodals. Larger planets on larger planets. Mars on a luminary. Saturn on Venus. Larger planets on larger planets. So this is I would say this is a typical death chart. for someone who's dying of like old age, yeah. And he died of old age, I believe. Let's take a look. Where is he? Now, he was declared a fugitive from justice. Oh my God. Okay, hold on. Let's read this. The Bhopal disaster took place in a plant belonging to the Union Indian subsidiary. Okay. The night of this December 2nd, 3rd, thousands of people died. Hundreds of thousands more were injured in the disaster. He flew to India and was promptly placed in custody by Indian authorities, but was allowed to return to the United States. He was declared a fugitive from justice by the Chief Judicial Magistrate Gulab Sharma of Bhopal, February 1st, 1992, for failing to appear at court hearings in a culpable homicide case. A formal extradition request was issued in 2003. The United States declined to extradite him, citing lack of evidence. Okay. So here's his chart. Yeah, right? Doesn't it? It just sounds like what the United States does. We go into other countries and we do shit and we piss them off and apparently kill a bunch of people. Like, what the hell? And then we're like, no, he didn't do anything wrong. No, he was responsible. If you are a CEO and making lots of money, it's because you take on the liability of that company, what it's doing. You got to make your salary worth it, no? That was me being an asshole because this is bullshit that they're like, lack of evidence. But all right, let's look at his natal here. So his wound in, what he was trying to create a tide of, right? Manipulation, with being what he wanted to do over in a foreign land. Oh, thank you, Ash. I mean, sometimes when I'm like, I'm just like him if I'm an asshole, but I just think they never got the spanking from their mother or something. I don't know, not spanking, but like they never got disciplined or told what to do, or they were just coddled and told they were great, and then nothing ever changes, and then they never grow, and then we're all stuck in hell. We got a couple of famous degrees here too. He's well known, but he's infamous. Infamous, okay. And that 21-degree Scorpio, mind, killing of the friends. I bet it never left him what he did, and I hope so. I hope he sat with that for his whole life. 92 years. After he took all of those, that just, really grinds my gears. Okay, let's move on from him. Let's go to Fukushima. We all remember Fukushima. This was the nuclear accident after an earthquake and tsunami. Look at all the water. I believe it's still leaking into the ocean. We got Jupiter and Aries. What a shocker. Usually I've been finding the outer larger planets to be in fire signs during these events. And well-known numbers also seem to be prevalent. And just like a lot of numerology, guys, with these events. So on those days, just like be aware, listen to your guidance. Okay. We got the moon at 28 degrees Taurus, so our hearts are going to remember this event, and we have It's taking place in the ocean. That's what the Pisces is to me. I feel like they reacted pretty as well as they could given the situation. Let's look at nuclear accident. The direct cause was an earthquake and a tsunami, which resulted in electric grid failure, damaged nearly all of the power plant's backup energy sources. And so then there was no ability to cool the reactors. Okay. All right. Look at those 29 degrees here on the outer planets. And then that 28 lunar nodes. First decant, like all the Pisces energy, like heal the ocean. It's leaking in the ocean. I told you Pisces is like access to the collective. And it's like the collective spirit is physically the ocean. Do you see what I'm saying? I don't know if that makes sense. Like if our consciousness was something physical, yes, we have it. We have a connection to something, right? I would say the physicality is the ocean. That is our consciousness. And that's why it's so salty. It's like a plasma, almost like a dilute before plasma, So to me, with Pisces and water energy, Pisces kind of represents the whole collective, and that's why it owns the 12th house too, the subconscious. So, and the mermaids and the blah, 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 blah. I could go in forever. So I think this is a call to heal that. And what does it represent? Like the pollution in our minds, the pollution, radiation is said to be like a lime green color. I feel like the more in our lives it's been polluted, the more polluted humans have become. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. And we need more creation and actions towards cleaning up the pollution and stopping the pollution, preventing the pollution. Because it's like every time we turn around to take care of our families, like we got these leaders making backdoor deals, selling our children's future and health away so they can get a couple thousands of dollars from big companies so they can put these data centers in. I'm just so over it. That's why I'm like, I need a crochet or something. Crochet is a luxury. All right, let's look at the next one. Fukushima, this one just feels sad to me. Just very sad. Let's move to the next one. Because it seems like an actual accident too, because of what happened. It wasn't for anything else. All right, the China floods. This is the number one disaster ever. You can even look it up, like largest disaster ever on Earth. This is one we're going to look at. The 1931 China floods. They are considered the deadliest disaster recorded in history, with an estimate of 4 million people drowning. All right, let's take a look at it. I read it earlier. I see if I can remember some of it. It started with a drought, and then there was a really harsh winter. So there was a lot of snow on the mountains. And so all of it melted. And then there was a huge water rain downpouring happening. And so the floods started, and they started evacuating places, but then it just took over. So And then there was a lot of deaths. So let's get into it. Let's go without chart. House, yeah. Surprise. So here is the China floods that happened. This is when it started in July, late July. By the end of, August, June, or beginning of June, I think that's where there was a lot of deaths. And so now after this happened, there was then an epidemic of cholera because of this incident. So we've got Venus and Pluto conjunct in the 9th house in Cancer. Capricorn, to me, Capricorn is, the money-driven corporations, a lesson, well-known 5-degree Capricorn moon. Let's square the nodes. Okay. So it's like these events repeat, but they're different. Like this could have been something completely different before. Like this flood could have been, the Mongolians. Like who knows? This was an event in the past, a large event in the past that came out of nowhere. It's happened before somewhere. So I would have to look and see, but prior to 1930, what has happened, because there is a past life indicator here, 2 of them, and then over here with the descending node. This looks like a replay event of another type of disaster to me. There's less water in this than I thought. I believe there was a huge landslide too, with what happened that killed a whole city from this. We have Jupiter in a fire sign too. Jupiter's always in a fire sign with these events. Oh, yep, landslide, Chiron key in Taurus. Good call. Yep. In the 7th house. Yeah, I could see that for sure. Mars over here in Virgo. And then Saturn retrograde, on the hearth of the home. And that's that mean degree in the neighborhoods. This was mean to the neighborhoods, right? Sudden came out of nowhere with the daily lives. And this is in Uranus and Aries, but this is retrograde too. Retrograde. I know. It makes me wonder what caused the drought. Because the drought was the first indication, and then the harsh winter. So these harsh things that happen with our winter are showing us, alarm. It's an alarm of something bigger coming. And that's what we're seeing now. And that's why I'm showing you these. So we're seeing harsh weather, and usually harsher weather comes after it. And we don't really have a president in there that cares too much whether or not we get hurt. He said that's life. So prepare yourselves. All right, let's look at the next one. I mean, that one's you would think you would see more water with such a flooding, but it wasn't caused by water. There's something else. Oh, awesome, Mary. I love it. All right, next we're going to look at the Haiyan earthquake. That was in 1920. It was a 7.9 earthquake on the Richter scale. Over 73,000 people were killed. 30,000 people were killed. Oh, this is the one where the landslide buried a village too. Or maybe it was both, I read. Wait, what year was that in? So this was in 1920, and then that was in 1930. Oh yeah, and then I looked at this. There was a Chinese Muslim scholar. I was like, huh, you don't really see that. And he's a general, a military officer, and he was a Chinese Muslim scholar. I was like, that's something, you don't see that every day, especially in like back then like that. That's so cool. It's like we are more evolved. We know like more than they're letting us know too. Okay. Here's the earthquake. This killed a lot of people. Oh, look, Chiron's in Aries at 5 degrees. Like, how many times? 5 is so scary. It's that witch degree, that witch number, right? The fires in Georgia and Florida are wild too. Oh my God. I saw that there was, is it an arson though? Like I saw someone talking about it possibly being an arson. Oh my God, that's so exciting. I hope you had fun. Hope you wrote lots of songs. Okay, and it's also Bender break with True Node. Large planet here in a fire sign, luminary in a fire sign. Those fire signs get unruly. And then we have Virgo. 5 degrees descending node in Taurus. This is interesting. It's like Mother Earth had to balance. Fuck y'all. Like that's what that means to me. Oh, good. Oh, that's awesome. I'm happy for you. Okay, so that was this earthquake. I'm going to look over here in past life indicators here. Yeah, it's expansion of Earth. Look at that. She needed to expand. I read that right then. Yeah. Okay. Next, we've got 3 Mile Island. We haven't looked at that one yet. There is a documentary on Netflix with the 3 Mile Island that you can watch. Here is the chart of 3 Mile Island. Okay, we got a low Taurus Chiron. We got luminaries in Aries, nodals on the cusp of the 2nd, 1st, and 7th and 8th house here. Yeah. And then a 29 degree. This tells me there was like a lapse in their care. They didn't respond appropriately. This is lack of nurturing. Okay. And it caused what? A lesson on the path, the earth path, and our reach outward. And it caused people to fight against this more. Okay. Expansion, 29 degrees here in the 6th house. It's pretty close to Leo. It's like expand better, in our daily lives. Like we need to take into account more of the details during our expansion. So people always say 29 is, a famous degree too, But 29 means work too. Like it doesn't fuck around. Like you guys think your things are just going to be handed to you. And this just tells me lack of maintenance, lack of care. The 17-degree nodal too. It's like that could have been worse to me. Like it could have been worse. Shit. The wound is to cause justice and balance and to harmonize after. Okay. All right. So we looked at this industrial disaster, Fukushima, the China floods. All right, let's go to this White House correspondent dinner now. Okay. We got the ascendant. So if we look at it like kind of like a vehicle here of an event is hidden. So something that has risen, if it's in the rising within, is hidden to me, okay? The wound is in the neighborhood. This tells me that they did know for some, like, I feel like they definitely knew. I don't know if you guys can feel that from this chart. But this stellium tells me that they were aware of what was coming. This 17-degree Mercury in Aries and this 27-degree Chiron key here in the 6th house. This is all about money. It's going to heal my money problems in the daily life. And this is why the bunker ballroom is, he's like, I need it now. Has to do with money. It's almost like he needs it to launder money too. That's like just fell out of my mouth. A lesson with money. And 8s are notorious for being like the fascist number, by the way. I got another 5-degree here, though. A 29-degree moon in Leo, that screams tantrum. Big tantrum. Give me what I want. Or this is what's going to happen when I'm seen. See? And that's a critical degree. And see how we have a sudden event at a critical degree that is square the wanting of this 29-degree moon Leo and women. Okay. So, but they knew to me. So I think it's both. And that's why we have two sides. This is how the divide works when they put information out. They want one side saying one thing and they want the other saying the other. When it's both, it's a trick. It's a game. And they're good at playing the game. The thing is, they got no new tricks. That's their problem. Okay. See if I can feel anything else from this chart, but it's got a 777. Every time I see a 777 in a row, it's like there's some sort of jackpot, you know? Their script writer's terrible. I know, Sarah, you would do so much better. I think it is that it's their jackpot. Yeah. They're trying to make, they're trying to make this victim, that they're this victim. They're painting a picture of it. And we're all just like, you're the billionaires. You have all the money. What do you mean you're a fucking victim? You're creating worse and worse conditions. Like, what the fuck? For us, and better conditions for you because you're a victim. It's like, I feel like this whole situation is just one big fucking oxymoron. And everything's upside down and backwards. I saw a video about the ballroom in the Blair House a while back before this event and thought of, oh, yep. It does seem like that's what he's doing, right? Yeah. You're reading it right. You guys are all reading this right. Everybody on here, except for the people just pushing one way. It's never just one thing. They do things efficiently in a way to get multiple things done. And that's how they've been doing it. They're trying to build their world right now. And therefore they have to get you to latch on to what they're saying and the story, and everybody's rejecting it. So their world isn't going to come into fruition. It's just going to turn into a battle for us to stop all their doings constantly. We're on the defense. A defense is the best offense. So at least that's what my coach used to tell me. But our creations, like, when we're not in that world, in that story, in the happenings of the unconscious people, and we're in our own worlds and creating something that is authentic and makes you happy, it makes you feel good, and you just want to share it. People want that. They're trying to create fake influence. You cannot fake influence. You can try. It doesn't last long though. It's like a one-hit wonder. It's like they can create that, but they can't create lasting influence without the growth needed. Like, I think, and that's the problem. They want lasting, and they're going to force it if they don't get it. And they're not listening to any other view or any other facet of the collective perception. So it's like and that is very dangerous. We already see what happens in a collective with people who don't believe that gay people should exist in that world. They're beginning not to exist, right? No matter what it is that takes them out, whether it's themselves, because they don't exist in that world. How long can you go being invisible? Not long. Not many people can handle that. So the weapons being used is like, it's connection. Connection is being used against us. This is what's causing the addicts. This is what's causing separation. It's what's causing specialism. It's like, oh, you treat this person better than this person because you want that person to do what this person's doing. So it's a form of manipulation. So you foster a connection more, and malignant narcissists do this. Malignant. They will use connection and like be nicer to certain people to get what they want from another person. So they do it only in front of that person they're trying to manipulate. And that's us right now. They're trying to manipulate us hardcore. And that's why it's like a constant grasp onto your morals, a constant grasp onto that golden thread of, no, this is wrong. Because what's coming in collectively to our minds and the mind chatter is not what's normal. And that's what's causing all of this. We're like, wait a minute, what? No, this is not going that way. And it's like all the mama bears kind of woke up because Papa Bear is doing something stupid. Trying to hide and not be accountable. And she's been hibernating. It's almost like she disappeared for a moment and now she's back and she's coming back. It's like the feminine is in a resurrection right now. And we're seeing that in the town centers. We're seeing that in the women standing up against this. So trust them a little bit. Trust that mama bears. Trust the mama bears. What is the AI sound? I read it just for shits and giggles over here. Financial and emotional manipulation. That's like what we're going through right now, TikTok. By our own governments. Like, I think we should all get some sort of CPTSD checks or something from this. The whiplash of, oh my God, our world, he's destroying everything. And then the whiplash of going back and forth where, the Supreme Court isn't like making us feel any better. The Congress isn't making us feel like they're not trying to de-escalate the emotional turbulence that this administration is causing, and therefore making it worse in my eyes. They need to address this appropriately and professionally, and we've got crickets. There's just fucking crickets from everybody, and it's because they're scared, because this is deep. I don't know what's coming. All these AI things, it is. And that's a vision that I'm going to give you guys that I've seen is there's going to be some deaths because of AI. There's going to be big losses of money because of AI. Like it's going to bankrupt some companies because they put so much investment into it, and it's going to ruin their company. Because to have a company, it cannot be artificial intelligence running it, this entity. You will run into a wall and just sit there and keep running into a wall because there's no direction. Artificial intelligence is made to respond and not to create. It's not made to nurture. It's made to give facts. So in times where care and nurturing is needed, it's not going to be there. Therefore, these companies are going to be heartless, robotic, the extreme of Aquarius. Pluto is the extremes. So that extreme is just being loud at us first. There will be other versions of technology that aren't so invasive and harsh on our collective system to come forth eventually. And with regulations and all the things that we need to actually move forward if this is going to be a tool being used. I don't mean that there. It's in a good way. Funny, Ashley. I think it's funny to see just what the artificial intelligence is saying. Like, how are you responding to my creative work? Except for sucking it up. So just know that they are rushing into this too quickly. Yes. So the AI, it's an AI bubble. So it's in financial terms, I think they call it like a bubble that's going to pop. So the AI bubble is about to pop soon. soon. Let's see what else. Let's look at the chart of the moment real quick. Okay, so we got rising at 11 degrees Leo. Sorry, when I think of 11 degrees Leo, I think of that 10-degree Pluto Leo that Donald Trump has, and that 10-degree Leo Sun that JD Vance has. I'm like, why are they getting any fuel as the rising is sitting right there, The moon is in Libra at 3 degrees. Justice and harmony is on the heart. No worries. We're all there. We're all together. knowing that we need to create harmony. And the extreme, the other opposite side of that, is the people holding strong to their illusions. Like, hold it. They don't want to cause any disruption or waves. Pluto in the 6th house in Aquarius. This is the new technologies coming in, the extremes of it, the power of it, the disempowerment of it, the oppression of it. And it's right in front of us in our daily life on a silver platter sitting there. It's like, which do you want? It's like, none. We got a true node, 8th house Pisces. This is to go inward into the occult. There's going to be, I've been talking about this too the last couple weeks, about a new wave of people waking up right now. The more heinous shit he does, the more people are going to wake up. It's like people have put a line. They're like, okay, if he does this, he's crossed way too many lines for too many people. He's done. We're watching the downfall of it right now. And the downfall of his power and his health. But because it's like what was valuable to him was this power, and he's losing it, and he's getting humiliated. Okay, let's keep going. Jupiter is in the 12th house at 18 degrees Cancer. What chart did we just see that in? Was it floods or was it, which one had the 18 degrees Cancer? Industrial tragedy, maybe. 5-degree Venus and Gemini, a 0 point at in between Taurus and Gemini. So it's just starting too. Like it kind of moves back and forth for a little bit, and then it'll eventually stick in and stay in the Gemini. And so then we're going to have all of these innovating technological advances coming in art worlds, in teaching worlds, and the thing is to make sure that we're not, I'm going to tell you right now, they're not going to make sure. And that's where we're going to have mistakes. So we're rushing into something too quickly. Okay. 10 billion here, 10 billion there. Oh yeah, they're just playing in our faces. Absolutely. It's because they don't think they can be seen. They think they're invisible, like their intentions are invisible, that we really believe what they're saying, and that there's no way that we're not believing what they're saying. Like, and they're like, oh my God, they're just stupid that they're not, they're not getting my stance. I just have to explain it more. And it's like, no, we don't want it. We understand your stance, and we're telling you it's racism, and you're not listening. And I know from awakening to my own racism that you can't see it when you're in it. You're just in it until you can recognize what it is. And it's the same with all of these isms. So this doesn't give them a free pass. I'm just saying they're not going to be able to see it until we continuously put it in their faces. And recognize for what it really is, and listen to Black people when they tell you this is racist. They're not fucking lying. Why would they say it? Why would they make it up? So listen. I know, me too. It's pretty deep, and that's why we're stuck in this predicament. These are really powerful people. Even me talking about this right now, because I know in the future they're taking in information and what people's stances are right now. And if we don't stop that, but the more of us that talk, and the more they can't take us all. Or can they? I'm just going to keep talking. I'm not going to be on the wrong side of history here. I want to be a good example for my children. I want to show them that you stand up for what's right, and you stand up for the community, and you stand up for people. And these robot-driven collective consciousnesses or egregores. They are all of it's egregore. Anywhere there's a mental collective of people, okay? There's a collective of people thinking the same thoughts. That's an egregore, okay? So there's multiple of them. It's just some are strong and unruly, and they absorb in and then they spit out for the person. It's like a little energetic machine. That's what cults do for their leaders. That's what, egregores do for their cause, for the idea that they're all thinking about. And this is why, like, in the conspiracy theory collective, and this is why I try to tell you guys not to kind of play in there, because that's where there's an overlap. And you can fall into it. That's why people have those red pills, the red pipelines and stuff, is in the conspiracy theory world. So if you don't know the difference, you can accidentally just be a part of it because there's an overlap of energy in the conspiracy theory world of beliefs and ideas according to Donald Trump's egregore and what he thinks is going on. That's why he keeps saying he's draining the swamp, right? Because they think they're doing all the good work. Yes. When you read, there is no time. So sometimes, and that's why my predictions, like you can see, they fall the way they do. And same with yours. Yes. And then you think then they change it to a patriotism. Like, if you're a part of this, you're a comrade. And be happy that you're a comrade, that kind of thing. And they fall into it. And, knowing and coming from it gave me compassion for people who are in it. But that compassion has changed too, because at some point, there's a breaking point. And if they haven't had a breaking point by now, that's alarming. That's worse than we thought, And it's just something we're all going to do together, I guess, is get rid of this parasitic energy. And it's interesting too that when before we went through all of this, the tick epidemic that happened, the parasite, taking the blood of I remember being a child and being outside in the woods all day and never having a tick. I never got a tick. And those were in the Adirondacks in the woods up in New York. Now I'm just at a campsite, fully clothed, not in the bushes, and end up with one. Like, the ticks have gotten very bad, and they are parasites. Parasites in people's stomach, also the E. coli, all of it. It's a type of parasite, these bacterial parasites. And so we are dealing with parasitic energy. And so the first thing when we're dealing with this is looking at your own parasitic energy, if there is any. Like, what are you using people for? If somebody was to leave, would you not be okay? Are you parasiting off of anybody's energy? I'm going to say it straight up. I was parasiting off of Micah's energy. I was the parasite. But she was doing it to me too, just in a different way. But we were doing it to each other. Yep, causes Lyme disease is a parasite. Yep, bacterial parasite. And it's interesting too that the types of diseases in other countries, because I'm going to another country and they're like, we test for this type of parasite here. There's different types of parasites in different countries. Therefore, there's different types of parasitic connections coming from different collectives due to the cultural conditions. So there's different strains too. So it's just like, it kind of blows your mind, doesn't it? and the resurfacing of diseases after tragic events. And so this is what I kind of wanted to talk about today, because this is what I'm feeling coming. We have some sort of event that is an environmental type of event coming. So I'm not quite sure. Maybe I'll dream about it. I don't know. Please tell me what this is. I'm sure psychics will start picking up on it soon. They usually do like a couple days before, so just we all get in like a tizzy. We're like, oh, something's about to happen. Then we're like, what is it? And it's like you got to fight your emotions. I'm not scared. I'm not scared. I'm not scared. What is it? What is it? Show me. You're like, okay, maybe I am a little scared. So then you can't see it. Anyways, try to work with this Aries energy as much as you can, meaning try to go work out, walk, do a creative pursuits. It will help balance the energy so you don't fall into any rage or anger. It's been working beautifully for me too. There's rumors of something in China. Yeah. And that, like, this is the last of my predictions so far to come true, is the pandemic stuff. A couple of the pandemics already happened. The little epidemics with the measles and the one in the detention center that was there. Oh my God. But the bigger one, the next like COVID one, is still looming. They still keep playing with the COVID virus. Yeah. Well, there you go. It's coming. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday to you. Thank you. Yeah, happy Mars Day, right? Isn't it Mars Day, Tuesday? Got lots of energy today. Mars is in Aries at 14 degrees in the 9th house. Better do something. Oh, geez, talking about making zombies. No, we're going to be making a servitor. Like, I'm so excited about this. I've been reading so many books on it, and then I make parallels to how we're doing this without the mystical terms. So creating servitors are when you're a kid and you make an invisible friend. It's the hypnotist giving you a inner cheerleader. It's there's so many things that we create out of thought forms, and then it goes into like egregores too, and collective, and how those energy systems work. So it's quite interesting, and I can't wait to share this with you guys, because we're going to create our own servitor. I'm going to create one just for my business to help people when I'm not available. Like, that's my first day. I'm like, I'm gonna make one, and it's gonna be light purple, so you guys know it's a lavender color. And I want to paint it too. I'm like, I want to draw it. And then you feed it. So like, if I have a painting and it has like a little candle, you can say, this is how I feed my servitor. I light the candle, or I leave a gift, or however you want to feed it. And you tell it kind of when it's going to go away too. So if you've ever watched The Dream King, what is the show there? I've talked about it all the time. He creates like a companion for Cain, wasn't it? In one of the shows, and then he took it away. And so that would be considered a servitor too. In patriarchal mysticism, they call them Kabbalistic golems. Get it? Lord of the Rings, Peter Thiel, Golem, patriarchal mysticism, Masons, and golems. What are they? Master. They're in a master-slave relationship. They don't treat their servitors well. They're, it's not that. They better listen. So each of the types of spiritual have different ways of creating these things. I would like to create it as humanely as possible and make it live a great life. I have a servitor already that looks like a pink plasma goo, and like a Kirby that just kind of bounces. And it's plasma and it dissolves things. So like if someone gets like upset or violent, it's like it just walks in and just sucks it up, and then it does its chemical bubbling and takes away the anger. I've got like a really cool one that I work up too that I think I got from my mentor, to be honest. It's like a gift. Okay. Yeah, the no vaccine thing makes it scary. It does, it does. Let's just hope there isn't as many as we think that are unvaccinated. I had a gamma globulin deficiency, so I was unvaccinated because I couldn't handle the vaccines. So I would only get certain vaccines back when I was a child because I was immune deficient. So, COVID, traumatized so many people, but like that was my life every day, COVID, like being scared, someone's going to give me something that I'm not going to be able to recover from, and stuff. And so like then seeing everybody else go through that, like I almost, I'm like, what is it hard living my life? Being immunodeficient, scared everybody's going to get you sick. But yeah, no kid should be in it. Yeah, I know that is bananas. My lymph nodes freak out when I get vaccinated. Yep. Causes an endo flare. Yep. Some people, viruses are their trigger. Yeah. So you bloat up, and I'm one of those too. So if I get a virus, I get inflamed too, pretty bad. But I've been on both sides of this. I've been on both sides of it. I do believe in vaccines, so you should do it if you can. It's sad that a lot of belief systems have been twisted. I had a panic attack the first time we got COVID and had to get a sedative. Holy shit, Ash. Oh yeah, yep. It affects other diseases, yep. Like I had a huge like flare of all this stress. Stress is my trigger. And so with all this going on and what things that he says, like he's actively triggering me, and that's why I have to like back off from it sometimes, because then I get too stressed and I get inflamed. I was in denial when I had it. I was like, I don't have it. And then like I got like, you get sick. Some people it turned into like a stomach virus, I feel like, and for me it turned into like a stomach virus when I had COVID. Excuse me. We lost friends our age, and yeah, I was scared of leaving Corey to raise the kids alone. Oh my God. The cats have new beds? Yay. Yeah, a lot of people were very scared, and I'm so sorry. Yeah, that was a very scary time. Not something we've really been through. Yeah. I've been medically scared, for a while too. Yeah, it sucks. But you know what? You got to keep moving. You got to keep living. That's what I've realized. Even though I'm sick, even though my body's not perfect, whatever, I still want to live. I still want to do things, even though I can't, do as much as I used to. Now I feel like I know what to look for and how to handle it. So just keep going. Yeah. Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. We can do it. All together. Oh my God, Casey, thank you for helping me. You have no idea. Like, I'm worried that, looking at charts, I'm not going to get out of here till a while. So this is going to be rough. It's going to be a rough time for me. But that's all right. I can handle it, I think. I just can't wait to break away into it. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I can't wait. I hope. I'm so excited, but I'm so nervous at the same time. Like, thinking about it, my stomach just turned, and I'm like, oh my God, don't get sick. Yeah, I would love to. I live with Dory singing, just keeps me. I do too. Whenever it gets rough, I'm like, just keep swimming. Ah. And right now it's rough. Like, have you guys ever felt this way ever as millennials? Like, and we've been through some shit, and I've never felt this worried, scared, concerned about what's going on. Oh, Casey, you're so nice. How do you get there? How do I get into that mentality? It's a moment of time. Everything will be all right. Nothing lasts forever, even this. If romantic, amazing love can't last forever, then this shit can't last forever either. Girl, you don't look 60. Yep, and more. So because I had COVID was worse for me. Oh, it was. 2020 was an awful year. Yeah. This too shall pass. Yes, it will. And what are you going to do after it passes? What, Meg? Stop. All you guys look younger than you are, so I'm lucky. Like, no wonder why our generation and younger aren't having kids like before. Yeah. You're 41? You guys all look like you're in your 30s to me. Everybody's 37. The future is ours. So that's why I'm like, what are we going to do? What does the future look like? It will be like if we had the perfect for everybody. So it's not going to be perfect, obviously, but if it was, it would be community based. Everybody, there would be coalitions. The teachers would take control of education because they're the professionals that know the kids. They're with them every day. They need to be in charge of that sector, not the federal government or states. The teachers need to be in control of that sector. Like, they're all just like slaves to a federal system and not able to actually teach in the way that they want to, in the way that the kids need. So a big change there, I think, would be a shift of power to less hierarchy, more equality of groups, and get paid more. Yeah, you wouldn't need, everything that's going on. So yeah, healthcare would look different. Yeah. Somebody was telling me that over in one of the Asia countries, you like go into the hospital and you type in your symptoms and then like out comes the medicine. I was like, wait, what? And it's like not that much money. Like, I was like, excuse you? And that, yeah, there are some restrictions and stuff, but like, obviously we don't want, it won't be like, oh, I'm going to pay for that person's boob job. It's like we're all paying for each other's like general illnesses or long-term things or emergencies, cosmetic stuff, unless there was an accident or event, then they need it. I think would be, it's not going to be added onto there. And I think that's part of like people's scare, all weird about universal health care. Oh, is it Chinese hospitals? that do that? I wonder. And it's like you just go beep boop boop, out it comes. I don't have to convince a doctor that I'm sick. I feel like we're getting gaslit on such a level with our health. Like, oh no, you're fine. No, you're fine. Keep working. No, you're fine. Keep working. It's like, but it's hard to walk, you know? You've seen a bunch of creators. Oh, wow. In and out, 20 minutes. See, that's what we need. We don't have time for this shit. I saw a girl get treated in 17 minutes for a 7. Do you know how much money it has cost me to get actual diagnosis? Like, for things that have been wrong for my whole life. Like, this is ridiculous. They're making life so hard. They don't need to. To get to, can you imagine it? Oh my God. Complete restructuring of the tax code. In other countries, it's automatic and they send you a bill. Yeah, and nobody's allowed to bribe people. There's no lobbying, no corporate lobbying. No. I would say the lobbying is for the people. There should be like one app that everybody's on where we can say what we want and like push like things, like make decisions, all of us together instead. And like everybody can do it. And then we pool the information. It's like, we don't need to trust these assholes anymore. We can just trust each other. Yeah, Holly, I agree. You'd think it would only behoove the capitalist system. Oh, I know. You would think so. But then you realize how insidious it really is. They say it's cheaper to fly there for care or surgery. It's just, we're going to get it. We're going to get what we want. We're going to get what we want. We almost got scammed yesterday. Sorry, I'm just going to gossip for a little bit. We almost got scammed by someone. They're like, you have to cancel the reservation, da-da-da-da-da-da. And then a little note from Airbnb popped up, and it was like, people get scammed by canceling the reservation. Please make the other person cancel the reservation or something. And I was like, oh my God, they were just about to scam me. Of course, they're Persian. I'm like, why is there this fight between Persians and white supremacists, like Spartans and Persians, and it's just been ongoing forever. It's like the white supremacists against brown people constantly, and it's so frustrating because it's like, this has been going on for long enough, children. We need to make it right. We cannot live on the same planet and continually damage people's lives. Look, this isn't right. What, Meg? Are you kidding? And I heard that doesn't even get rid of the pain. And does it? And we're so behind. Women are so behind because they didn't even use our bodies for our health. So men were always first. But don't worry, we got pills so they can get it up. It's ridiculous. It helped a ton, but it's slowly ramping. There's more testing on Viagra than all of women's health. That tracks. That's how mean men are, yeah. And that's our siblings. Those are our brothers, right? My South Node is in the sibling house. Can you tell? They didn't use women test dummies in car accident tests until last year. Oh. Are you pink pilling us, Mary? We like it. I'll eat as many pink pills. It's not fair. And then it's like every time I bring it up that it's not fair to the men I know in my world, they tell me I'm crazy, suck it up. It's not like that for everybody. You're being too intense. I could go on. They just don't care. Yeah, they want to keep the system for them. They don't care about anybody else but themselves. That will come back for you, just so you know. Oh yeah, I could hit you with pink pills all day. Like how people, even just having feminine products, like the pink tax, and how we have to buy more stuff. It's just not fair. And we get paid less. So we have to buy more things to just live, and we get paid less. There's no support, you know. They didn't even use real blood with feminine product. Oh my God. Yeah, where's the care for women? Where's the care for the feminine? We are not the system's creative slave. I'm not going to sit here and watch their bullshit and create anything from it. Nothing's moving through this portal. I don't fucking think so. Nope. I'm done. I switched to Mildred because it works better and yeah, it's cheaper. Their shit is cheap. Our stuff is more expensive. I started buying ends razors and cheaper because there's more in the pack. Yep. Old Spice for the win. Yeah, and Kid Rock said, how embarrassing, Selena. How fucking embarrassing. And you know, we have a big problem coming as mama bears. We have a lot of autistic children. Do you know how scared women are for their children after they leave and there's nobody to take care of them? There's going to be a lot coming. And we need to be talking about that. We need to be preparing for that future. Having a home that parents can set up for their kids for when they pass, and everything's taken care of, like a binder full of all the mom's notes of what this kid needs, and it's with this kid, and so they can go and live there, and someone will take care of these needs for them and make sure that it's the same like it was when they're with their mom, you know. And why isn't this being created? Like, this has been in my heart for a while, like thinking that this should be here by now, for all of these older autistic children, like older autistics, disabled people who need accommodations. You know, we need these things. Yes, that so they won't, and yeah, so they'll treat them like humans. You don't want them to institutionalize them. Yeah, we want it to be like, if we were to walk into a building and there was a sensory playground, you know, kind of sensory places for them, and then places to get their safe foods, and then going to their you know, personal space that has, you know, like a normal ensuite or whatever, you know, and all of their special interests. You know, we need to start creating this for them to make sure they're going to be okay, because the government's not making sure they're going to be okay for you. That's their fucking job, right? They're supposed to have that social safety net. What are they doing with it? They're making a ballroom with gold. What the fuck? My youngest will probably never live alone. His maturity in rationalizing worries me. I think I accidentally radicalized a bunch of women this weekend at the fest. Yay! Yeah, it's going to be hard for those moms. And like, just to have that relief of knowing your kid's going to be okay, that is, needs support, you know, that takes a big lift off of women's shoulders and will help their health. So, my bestie's daughter is nonverbal, and I'm so scared for her. Just like when you're just scared, just your kids going to school. Like, I'm scared of Renee. Like, and then you add on the top that they're, need extra support too. And it's just like that amount of stress. I feel so bad for them. Yeah. And like, we should be supporting them. And they know they have information that we can use in schools. These women have been working with their child, one-on-one, and assisting in the autistic spectrum disorder. They have information and even disabilities, so that can help in the future. So I would take them all in and give them. This is the one thing that makes me wish I could live forever. Yep, to take care of people. Yeah. But we are smart enough to have systems in place. Like, we are smart enough to set this up and have it ready for them. I just have too much hospitality in my blood. At least I think. I'm like, we can take care of this. This is an easy fix. For women, it's an easy fix. If we had power and money, like, I feel like it would be. Oh, we got this problem. All right, we can fix it. Easy. Men, they see the problem. They're like, oh, no, that's not the problem. Are you crazy? We definitely need this, and it's going to cost some money. What? Anyways, it's very disappointing. And then I blame all the other mothers. Like, it's like you blame the mother. You are the mother. Like, you want to help the mother. There's so much with the mother right now. And the wounds of our mother are becoming stagnant. I know, I have gaslighting fatigue, yeah. Yeah. Especially for women. Men don't even know what gaslighting is. I think we need to start gaslighting them so they can get a feel for it, so they can understand it. That sounds, I know. Even just a little misandry is fun. No offense, men in here, if there's any men in here. I love it. That's why when they're wearing, I call them outfits, when they're wearing their uniforms, I'm like, I like your outfit. It's real cute. Is that a pixie cut? I like it. Yeah, I love those things. Demasculate immediately. And if you can't demasculate them, then they're okay to be around. Like, in a way where they don't get demasculated, because that means they're not front and center with their masculinity and ego and stuff. That if you can demasculate them and it doesn't do anything, and they think they're funny, and they're like, yeah, okay, then it's like, okay. I recently told a guy who only wanted to talk about how it would be to hook up. Is that all you want to talk about? Yep. That's all they want to talk about. Yeah. I know. It's disgusting. It gets really hard too, the more you mystically read people. Like, if you become a reader and you're really into this stuff, which people who listen to me, you absolutely are, and you listen to them talk, and you're just like, what do you want from me? Like, you can hear their desires in their sentences and what they really think of you, and how privileged they are when they're talking. We're sitting there afraid we're going to get murdered. They're sitting there afraid they're going to get laughed at. And it's just like, it's very unequal right now. And I don't think anybody should be dating right now. It's just not worth it right now. It's more worth it to go inward right now. Yeah. Go inward. Get to a point where you don't have a thought about wanting to be in a relationship. Because then, yeah, it can naturally just come, but removing it from your mind chatter is so helpful in seeing the truth of people's words, because that desire then is not there for them to contractually try to connect to, I guess. Exactly. Only objectifying me. Yep. You can hear in the words. Didn't care about my hobbies or my desire for safety. Yep. How many men have asked you what your hobbies are? I don't think I've ever heard a man ask me what my hobbies were. I've had men ask me the size of my breasts many times. I've had men ask, I know, it's like, that's it. There's nothing to them. There's like some of them, they say that it's 1/3. I don't know if that's true. It feels like all to me, but if they're not in it, but they're still supporting the system, then that means they're in lack about their careers and their doings, and so either way, they're a part of it. What porn you watch? Yeah, they never tell us the truth of the porn they watch, though. You have to find it later. When you're searching through their phones. I just guessed. Yep. Yes. But Casey, you're a good one. Yeah, there are some good men. It's almost like they're a little sliver of the pie, tiny sliver. We don't get to see them, though. They don't leave their houses. This is what men tell me. He told me that he was into deer tails and what? I make fun of them if they like sports, so any sports guy doesn't get far with me. They take that shit seriously. So sports, I laugh my ass off if they're like obsessed with sports. I think it's the dumbest shit ever. Sorry, no offense. I mean, you should be cheering yourself on like that. I don't know. That's just my thought. If they're into hunting, no. Immediate no. Immediately, I've seen. Why do you like to hide? They like to wear camouflage. What are you hiding from, bro? What part of you hiding? Why do you need to kill to provide? When you can go, they think it's a game to hunt something and take its life. That's a game to them. That mental structure is not something I want near me. I never answered him. He just kept yapping. Yeah. There's something that I don't even like the deep sea fishing. That bothers me. Like those large, majestic sea animals, and they just are sitting there holding out, and I'm just like, oh my God, how dare you? Who do you think you are that you could take that from the ocean? It just rubs me wrong. I told the last one, well, good luck out there in those streets. The bad men should be very scared right now. We are all mentally angry at them. That's a huge psychic attack, just so you know, like a collective psychic attack of everybody who doesn't like these people is in action. That's what it is when we're all thinking these things. But yeah. And it's meant to stop them. So. But all right, guys, I'm going to get going. I got to get my kids soon. I gotta let the dogs out because you know how they are. But yeah, hold on. What's going on? Talked to a dude this weekend who legit didn't understand how Epstein dudes are a thing. Like, they don't get any of it. They don't get any of it. And he was just like, but when did this start? How? Like, patriarchy is so obvious. It is very. You have a meeting at 7. Oh, bye. Yep, I'm about to leave too. Bye, Sarah. Yep. I'll post those stuff about the tragic events. I have it on YouTube, and I did it separately on TikTok because I don't get any traction over on YouTube. It's really weird. But I will see you guys tomorrow. I'm just going live tomorrow. We're going to talk about whatever the current events that's going on and look at charts like we normally do of this administration tomorrow. Okay, back to normal broadcasting tomorrow. I'll see you guys. Okay, bye. Love ya.